Today, we're talking about the body wisdom blueprint. Do you feel like your body is wise, or do you feel like your body's on its own journey and you don't know what these messages are it's given you? This is the very reason I created the body wisdom blueprint. I'm Holly Niles, and in many years of practice, I've seen thousands of patients who really report this phenomena to me. They come to me saying, I don't know what's going on. My body's over here doing one thing. I'm over here. I have a different idea of how things should be going. And I don't understand why I'm in this spot. Nothing seems to make sense. So, what I learned and sitting with so many patients over time is that we were missing the message. So the body seemed like it was, uh, off track, seemed like it was not following a certain protocol. And in fact, the body was. So here are the secrets when we look at this. So when we think about how do we interpret? How do you become a good interpreter? It's really, I always liken it to crime scene investigation. So it's kind of a funny thought to be a nutritionist who really is also a crime scene investigator, but that's really how we unlock body wisdom. So the way that our body works, if we think about in functional medicine, the concept of systems biology, that means that all of our systems are integrated. And often in our conventional medical experiences, and this is casting no shade on conventional medicine, but it's just the way we think, we have specialists. We have endocrinologists, cardiologists, gastrointestinal doctors. We have certain people who only deal like super specifically, right? So you can have an endocrinologist, and you can have somebody who deals specifically with diabetes. So we keep creating these subsets of specialty, which gives us the illusion that what's happening in, let's say, the blood sugar metabolism system has nothing to do with what happens in the gut. What happens in the cardiovascular system is in no way connected to our nervous system. We see these as parts. But in fact, everything is integrated. And the good news about that is that when we support one system, we'll often see other systems take that bounce, right? They'll get that input. So the body wisdom blueprint is my design to help you decipher what is going on with my body, what is the underlying wisdom. How can I trust these messages that my body's telling me? And of course, that's going to take a few steps. So, my three phases are pretty simple. The first one is investigate. And so, in investigate, we need to get to that scene of the crime. So, how did we get here? Typically, people are not fine on a Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, the rheumatoid arthritis bug zaps them from the sky, and now all of a sudden, oh, I have an autoimmune disease. There are signs the body gives, whether we're talking about sort of the biomechanical signs, whether we're talking about physiology, things like blood labs, smaller symptoms that we just sort of chalk up to, oh, I'm tired, I'm older, etc. There is a path that we take to get to those imbalances. So when we investigate, it really helps us see, well, how did I get here? And that's in many ways we have to investigate because we're very complex in the best way. So we want to think about our actual physical health, our medical conditions. We think of our family history, but we probably want to look at our energy systems. We want to look at our nervous system. We want to look at how we've been fueling the body. So we want to conduct a thorough investigation. And the benefit of that is that's where we begin to make connections. Oh, I see. I was the kid who had ear infections and was put on antibiotics for 5, 6, 7 years of my life regularly. And then I started to have gut issues, or then I started to have skin issues because my microbiome got altered by this frequency of antibiotics. There are many ways that we can begin to unpack that information. So that's our investigation. And that's really how you establish the framework of your blueprint. How did I get here? Who am I? What are these messages the body is telling me? Then we naturally transition to the activate phase. And in a most simple way, activation says the body needs more of some things and less of others. And so we begin to work with the different inputs. So probably about 80% of our health comes from our lifestyle choices, how we sleep, how we move our body, how stressed are we? Do we eat well? Do we do well for on these short-term plans and then go back to having really poor habits? What is the method of how we're taking care of the body, the house we live in? So activation has a lot of subtleties to it, right? So how do we initiate change? How do we stay with change? So that's our activation phase. And then our last phase is elevate. And to me, this is the most significant because this is the phase where we create resilience, sustainability, this sense that the body has capacity to handle a vacation where you weren't sleeping or eating as well as normal, or a night out on the town, for a celebration, things like that. Or you get a little rundown, you get a cold, but you bounce back. So this is where we establish these activation habits, lifestyle inputs that become part of us, not just a short term, oh, I can hang in there and do these things for, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 2 months, but how do I incorporate them into my life? So I am now using this wisdom as the bouncing off place for change. And then, of course, beautifully, that cycle continues to repeat. So even when you're in the elevation stage, you can become an investigator again, like, oh, I see what's happening. My body's giving me a message. I have to go back and investigate what did I do? How did I get there? And then, of course, moving through the other phases. So my hope as we go through this video series is that you'll begin to make some connections right away. And instead of feeling like your body's kind of on this unguided journey, you begin to see that you are actually part of the journey and really take on a sense of agency and empower to begin to make changes.